Hey guys, seems like I got a lot of good feedback on that Eugene slip knot. I really mean it when I say that's an awesome knot. Pretty much tie it for all my fluorocarbon lines. Everything we're going to drop shot on up to heavy flipping jigs and stuff like that. I want to talk about junction knots. I feel like anymore nowadays, most of my rods in my rod box in my Ranger are, you know, they have some sort of braided line to some sort of a leader, and the best junction knot that I have found is an FG knot, and it was shown to me by Jeff Crete, and it was shown to him by Carl Jochimson. I guess in Australia it's a real popular knot for offshore fishermen. So it took me a while to figure it out, and the best video that I think for demonstrating the FG knot is probably one by Salt Strong. The guy's like at a poker table or something like that. That's the one that I went to kind of really learn it. But a friend of mine said, man, you got to do a video on the FG knot. So I'm going to do it. I think if you ever can't figure out or follow along with what I'm doing, go to that Salt Strong video with the guy at the poker table. He does a great job of explaining it. It's how I learn. And it takes a lot of practice learning how to tie this thing. With that, we'll just jump right into it. I'll put the braid in my mouth, and then I'm going to apply tension to the rod. I've got it kind of under my leg, and I have the rod tip kind of pointing away there. And I take the fluorocarbon, and I'm going to lay it over top of my braid. And then I'm going to wrap it one time under, going toward the rod tip, and then one time under, coming back towards me. And we're going to have to do 20 wraps, 10 that way and 10 this way. So we'll get that started. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One of the keys is applying pressure when you're tying it, making sure that all ends are tight. This end, the line to the leader, and then obviously the braid. So we're at 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. How you hold the line and everything like that is going to vary from person to person. Whatever you need to do to get it to where it's manageable, because as great as this knot is, it's a bear to tie. So you've got your main line going this way, you got your fluorocarbon leader going this way, and you have 2 tag ends. Obviously the tag end for the fluorocarbon and the tag end for the braid. And now you're going to do kind of a couple of finishing overhand knots just to kind of keep this weave that you've done from unraveling. So I'm going to do around both the fluorocarbon and the mainline braid, just a regular overhand knot, hopefully you're following that. And then I'm going to do 2 of those. 1 and 2. Right there. And once it's tight like that, once I kind of cinch it down, this is where I want to really apply a lot of pressure. I'm going to really, cinch it down. This is how you really kind of fuse this knot, because your actual braid is actually digging into the fluorocarbon. So just pull. You just want to dig that in. Obviously, don't cut the braid into your hands, but you dig it right in. And now this is what you have so far. You've got the 2 tag ends, and then the braid on this side, and then the fluoro on that side. And there's the weave, kind of looking at it right there. So now I'm going to remove everything, get it all out of the way, and I'm just going to trim the tag end of the fluorocarbon nice and tight. Then I'm going to do two more overhand knots. So 1, and 2. And what this is doing is just kind of creating a little bit of a, say, a barrier between the end of your fluorocarbon where you've cut it and then your main line braid. And because that's obviously the place that's going to come in and out of your guides, it's going to make all that noise. The thing about this knot that's so amazing or so great, so actually after, let's finish this out. So after I've done those 2 overhands, I'm going to cut it nice and close, and it's done. I mean, what I like to do is put a little dot of super glue to keep those little overhand knots from unraveling, but that's it. The biggest part of it's those 2 overhand knots at the end, as you can see. But the beautiful thing about this knot is, I think, next to maybe the blood knot, maybe the strongest knot, the strongest junction knot you can get. But also, as we're using smaller guides now, this knot going through the guides, you're still going to hear it like anything else, but it goes through. It's so much more user-friendly, makes casting a whole lot easier, and again, it's just really probably one of the strongest junction knots. But the fact that it's got that linear profile instead of a, actual knots coming down really makes it come through the guides really well, and casting is a whole lot easier than any other knots. But that's the FG knot, junction knot, for anytime you're going to tie 2 lines together, say braided line and fluorocarbon, braided line and mono. Works really well from anything from really light line all the way on up. So give that a shot. It takes a lot of practice. Took me about a year before I was finally really confident in it, but I shy away from it from the beginning. So just stay with it, keep practicing, figure out how you want to hold the lines, makes it a lot easier, and over time you'll get it.